Good morning and welcome to another exciting edition of Day 4 with the man, Frank Scalish. And he is a man that has made it through 250 episodes.
And we're still here.
Of Day 4. And we're still here and we're just getting started. And Lord willing, we'll be here for show number 500. But pretty cool, Frank.
It's really cool, man. We've developed a very good friendship along the way and a really good chemistry. This is more than you could ever ask for me. I mean,
we have 100% developed a Day 4 community with guys who are fishing with each other, meeting with each other, chatting on the phone with each other. I think Frankie's friends with about all 300 of our regular listeners who are live on every Thursday morning, and then the thousands of others that listen throughout the week. But that was an element that I was not expecting. I don't think Mark was expecting when he started it or anything. We were just kind of doing the 3 E's: educate, agitate. Yeah. That's it.
Agitate, aggravate,
and anger. That was Mark's 3 A's. The 3 A's of life.
Triple A, baby.
But I don't think we were planning on becoming friends with so many of the listeners and viewers of the show, and them adding so much to it. We've had a bunch of guests on too, and they bring a lot to the show and make it happen. So we're celebrating with everybody.
Yes, it's been very good. We've met great people along the way, absolutely fantastic people along the way, and it's just been fabulous, man. I mean, the whole thing, it's been fabulous.
It has. A lot of people wish you congrats on 250. So here's what we're gonna do. We have some more iCast releases from LureNet. We're gonna go through that. We have some listeners and viewers who have emailed in shows from the past that were their favorites. We maybe have you retell a couple of good stories from the past, go through some of the most educative or entertaining episodes from the past, and then along the way we are going to give out 3 $50 gift cards to lurenet.com. I already have those codes in my possession, so if you're selected, I'll send you the email,
and then all you'll have to do is just type that code in the gift card section, and then you'll get your $50 off.
Yeah, just send me an email and I'll send it back. We're going to pick one from the YouTube comments last week. We had a lot of people that put up their favorite ones, and then we're going to save one from the 250th show that we'll give away next week for people who comment under this show.
Outstanding.
Does that sound like a game plan there, Frank?
It sounds like a game plan. I like it.
Were you at the Classic? We were talking a little bit before we went live. You said you had you got dehydrated.
Oh my!
This
God.
Past week, were you at the Classic where I passed out the AFCO booth in Texas? Like Smooth, was planning to do a meet and greet, started sweating profusely.
Yes.
Michael Neal, who likes to give me a hard time, I knew I was in trouble because he said, "Hey man, do you need to sit down?" And he got up and offered me a seat, and that is not something that Michael Neal would ever do in any way, shape, or form. And then I passed out.
Yeah. I was there. I wasn't at the booth with you.
Yeah. So you did the exact same thing this past week?
Oh God, yeah. Yeah. And you know what the crazy part is I'm really good about it. I'm really good.
Yeah, you take care of yourself big time.
And I was fishing, and the place I was on, I chose a place to fish, predicated it's solely a current place, totally 100% current. And so I picked it because in these hot days, the current makes everything super, super predictable. And when I got there, it was blown out. And it was a real tough fishing day, to be honest with you. And I started focusing on going through my transitions and wasn't paying attention to how flipping hot it was. And I was sweating like the minute I got there. I felt like there was, bugs in my hat, but it was my sweat beating up and then getting on the rim and walking down the rim of the hat. And then all of a sudden my eyes are burning and the sweat's going in my eyes. And next thing you know, I grab water, I start chugging water, and that cooled me down because I freeze them. So that cooled me down. But what happened was I wasn't getting hydrated. And then halfway through the day, it just started hitting me. And I had to leave. And I left and I got home. And right around dinner time, I was like sick as a dog.
Yep, that's exactly how I
Yeah.
felt. It takes you 5 or 6 hours to get over.
Yeah.
You got to get some of those electrolytes in you,
Yep.
take care of it, get out of the sun, get in a cool place, kick your feet up, and just let your body recover.
Yeah. I literally took 2 cold showers. I mean,
Yeah.
I was burning, like burning. And I said, God bless it. You know, my brother-in-law came to a tournament with me on Eufaula. He wanted to film it. And so he came with me on Eufaula, and it was those 98-degree days. And I kept telling him, you need to start drinking now. And we didn't even,
Water.
yeah, water. We didn't, yeah. You need to start drinking now.
Back to the college. It's 7 in the morning. Is that a beer?
Yeah, exactly.
We're crappie fishing.
Yeah, whatever. Give me a break, bro. And so he's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, John, no, you're not. You got to start drinking now because I'm not coming off this lake. I have to practice for the Bassmaster event.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, dude, 11:30 noon, he's out. I got to take him back because I thought was going to go to the hospital. He was puking and it was horrible, man. And he wound up spending a day and a half in the hotel room, trying to recover from that.
Holy cow! Yeah, that was serious.
Yeah, he
IVs and stuff.
He was wrecked, wrecked. I
told
him,
they put like a saline solution in you or something like that to.
I think it's electrolytes, saline solution, basically Pedialyte. I mean, if you drink Pedialyte for babies,
yeah. Now they've got a bunch of different ones out. The electrolytes. I don't know. I guess they taste kind of smooth. The Pedialyte was like $6 a bottle, and I drank it pretty regularly in college. Wink, wink. Particularly Sunday and Monday mornings. But I have gotten back into that too. And the other thing that I've noticed is a lot of the guys that are on tour that are my age, 35 and older, like they take it really seriously. Yeah. Like they're like Justin Lucas is one. You can see Amart was another one who had a big jug of water whenever he fished. But those guys will start hydrating, if they're going fishing that week and it's going to be hot out and anything, they'll start hydrating a day or two before kind of plan it so they can.
So they had when I fished Bassmasters, they had a hydration specialist at one of the events.
Mm-hmm.
And at the meeting, they were taking hydration tests for us and everything and doing all the stuff. And when I got my turn to go up there, they grab the skin on your hand and they squeeze it and see how fast it bounces back.
The elasticity of your skin to see if you have any moisture retention in it or if you're dry as a bone.
Right. And so the lady, she pinches my hand and she just looks at me and she goes, you will never catch up. I said, what do you mean? She goes, you are already dehydrated. You can't catch up. So she said, do you drink coffee? And I said, yeah, I drink coffee. She goes, do you drink beer? And I said, yes, I drink beer. And she said, okay, so for every cup of coffee you drink, you need like a half a gallon of water to rehydrate. For every beer you drink, you need twice that. And I said, I can't put that much fluid in my body.
So the key is less beer and caffeine.
Yes, and more water
and nicotine, because that's a vasoconstrictor.
Oh yeah, that's terrible. Nicotine's terrible.
Yeah. So if you're starting off with a couple Zyn pouches and 2 cups of coffee, then going out fishing in 100-degree heat, and then finishing it off with a 6-pack of cold ones in the evening on a 3-day fishing trip, you're setting yourself up to fail. To not be able to, you're setting yourself up.
Yeah, fail. And the other thing is that, believe it or not, one of the worst things you could drink out there is pop.
Yeah.
I won't mention brand names, but any of them. Like pop is the worst. Like I remember one time we were on Gunnersville, and I'm not going to mention the pro's name, but he comes up to me, and it was scalding hot, and I had a rag, and I kept dunking the rag in the lake and wrapping it around my neck. And he comes up to me and he goes, "I got to get off the water." I go, "Why is that?" He goes, I'm not feeling good." I said, "You drinking enough fluids?" He goes, "Yeah, I drank 4 liters of Pepsi already."
No, that had to be Kenyon.
It was. It absolutely was.
Oh yeah.
It absolutely was. And I'm like, dude, you can't put that in your body, man. It's all freaking sugar. I can't believe that you just blew that out of the cold air.
Yeah. Yeah, Kenyon, big pop guy.
Yeah,
Back
huge.
in the day.
Back in the day. Now he's in great shape, but back in the day. And I couldn't believe it. Like, if I would have drank a cup of that on the lake, I would have been sick as a dog.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you guys. I have not had pop of any kind in 45 years.
Like, you haven't had a Dr. Pepper, a Diet Coke, 45 years, no pop.
No, I will not drink it. And here, I'm going to tell you something funny. I know we're not sponsored by any of these products, so I'm sorry, guys.
I was going to say, you will start drinking, though, if the opportunity arises.
No, I won't put that in me, man.
Okay.
But here's the reality. So there was this test done, okay? And we took 4 glasses of said beverage.
Okay.
We took teeth and put them in 2 of the glasses.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this.
We took rusted metal parts and put them in 2 of the glasses. In 7 days, we dumped the content of the glasses out. There was no more rust on the metal parts, and the teeth were virtually gone. Not completely, but virtually. And that was all I needed to see. That was all I needed to see. And that's when I quit drinking it. I'm like, nope. Now, I'm not the healthiest guy in the world.
No, I'm a sucker for Mountain Dew. Like, if a new Mountain Dew flavor comes out, now there is the Mountain Duo actually does a show. I've been a guest on it before, where they test every new flavor that comes out, and I'm a sucker for an ice cold Mountain Dew, like all the new flavors that they come out. And then I like cream soda, unfortunately. So then when they came out with the Dirty Dew, which was the cream soda Mountain Dew, it's a guilty pleasure.
So the funny thing is, when I was growing up, cream soda was huge. And remember those little bottles of pop? They were tiny little bottles of pop, and
like the little 8-ouncers.
Yeah, they were little 8-ounce bottles. Yep. I'm trying to think of the name of the stuff, but I can't think of the name of the stuff. They had those, and my uncle would get them.
RC?
No, there was a name of the company that made them, and they were just little tiny bottles, and they came in wooden crates back in the day. And my uncle would literally buy a pallet full of them. And then they had an empty lot next door to their house. Well, they owned it, but it was just an empty lot. And we would have these massive softball games there. And we would drink these things nonstop all freaking day long. And cream soda was the deal, dude.
Yeah.
That was the deal. I mean, you couldn't pry them out of my hands. I was like, no, they're mine.
It said Frankie lived in such a surge. Remember, A-Mart was sponsored by Vault.
Yeah.
You had the Vault and Mountain Dew in it. All right, let's get into a couple of deep dives from the first 250 shows. Then we'll fire up LureNet, because there's some new drops from iCast that we didn't go over last week, and we'll give away in it. I got an email, and it was a question about deep water fishing, and wanted you to go more into the deepest bass that you have ever caught, targeting bass, the deepest water that you have ever fished for bass in and how you targeted those fish and where it was. I believe you told the story early on about it, but would like a little recap on how deep is too deep, or can you go too deep in some fisheries?
Okay, so the reality of it is I've caught smallmouth out of 50 feet of water. I've caught spotted bass out of, close to 50, because there's no thermocline, or the thermocline was deeper than that. The thermocline is going to dictate your limit on depth, period. They can't go below it. They can't live below it. Some garbage fish can live within it, but game fish can't live below it. So that's going to be your limit, is the thermocline. The problem, to be very honest with you, I could be pile driving smallmouth all summer long on Lake Erie, but I got to fish deeper than 40 feet to get them with consistency, and I won't do it because 80% of those bass will die. So I won't fish for them. Now, in the tournament situation, I had to, because I was fishing for, a lot of money, and so I had to. But majority I read a report on delayed mortality in smallmouth, and the delayed mortality is huge. It's way larger than we even believe it is, want to believe it is. And delayed mortality means you let them go, they swim away, everything is good. 3 days later, they die. That's delayed mortality. And so I kind of ethically can't fish for a trophy smallmouth for a photograph, knowing he's going to die. And here's the issue. The warmer the water, the higher the delayed mortality rate. So when you're under 70 degrees, your delayed mortality rate is like 43 to 50 some percent. When it's above 70 degrees, the delayed mortality rate can get as high as 80%.
And will there be a thermocline in the Great Lakes, or is that why they get deeper, because it's so big there and there's so many undercurrents that there isn't a thermocline, so those fish can go however deep they want?
Current will definitely, there will be pockets of thermocline on the Great Lakes just because of the sheer depth of them, but they could be very, very deep, like very deep.
Yeah.
And so current will eradicate a thermocline in most of the system, but there's going to be pockets, just like when eddies form, current breaks form in any current situation. Yeah, they do, Joey. They do. That when you fizz them, they'll swim away and sink, and then the delayed mortality takes place. The real, it's not bulletproof, it's not foolproof, and you're still going to have a big delayed mortality rate, but you don't force the fish up.
You just let them slowly, just like you're a diver that's coming up on that.
Yeah, you just let him do his thing, because if you notice, when smallmouth are deep and they run up almost all the way to the surface to get a bait fish,
they change colors real.
Yeah, well, when they run up to get that bait fish, they're acclimating themselves as they're going up.
Okay.
And so, but when you're pulling them up, they're pulling you down. You're pulling them up, they're pulling down. They're not, they're fighting for their life, and that exaggerates everything. And so it's not bulletproof. I'm just telling you, I have some people that I know that were throttling them 4 summers ago in 58 feet of water, and I got pissed, because I said, all you're doing is you're killing every one of these fish for Instagram, and that's bullcrap. You could find shallower fish. They may not be the biggest fish in the pond, but you could find shallower fish to catch if you want to. Now, I'm not shaming anybody for for fishing deep, because there are times when you don't have that up. You have to. In a tournament situation, you're fishing to win. You have to win, especially if it's your job. Like in the Bassmaster event that I won, I was catching them like 38 to 40. Every one of those fish needed fizzing, and I knew there was going to be problems at the end. I knew it. It bothered me, but
Now
I
the
was,
smallmouth, the biggest thing I've also heard of is even if the water temp is 68, 72 on the surface, it could be 50, 40 foot low. It could be a lot cooler. So then you're
yeah,
also, especially if you're boxing them, the combination of ice, so keeping it whatever the
yeah.
temperature is down there, fizzing, and fin clips to keep them uprighted, and then noticing the color change of the fish are three ways to really help reduce delayed mortality.
Hmm. Yes, absolutely. A lot of,
Now the spotted bass, like on, so like my deepest would be like Table Rock, and I was
yeah,
fishing at 110, but the trees would come up to about 50, and you
right.
would catch them in the tops of the trees. Now that was in the winter, so you were talking about mid 40s water temp. There was no thermocline in that cold of water, and those fish, after you fizz them, the spotted bass on Table Rock seem to be, and largemouth seem to be incredibly hardy from
Yes.
that 40 to 50 foot range, way more so. And I've caught them out of 30, 35
Yeah.
on the St. Lawrence River, way more so than the smallmouth on a current driven fishery like that.
Oh yeah. The colder the water, the better. To be
Yeah. Okay.
honest with you, the better. That's biologically proven. The colder the water, the better. I mean, that's just how it goes. But yeah, it's, if you think about this, because like if I tell somebody that I'm fishing 30 feet deep, they're like, oh my God, 30 feet. Look at your bass boat and go 2.5 times the size of your bass boat. That's 30 feet. It's not far.
Not that deep.
It's not that deep. And to be honest with you, like on Norman, I was catching largemouth in 15 feet of water, and every one had to be fizzed. They were just exploding. Like I'd get them in there, be like, and I'd be like, "What?"
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, it's all predicated on how fast you're getting them out of there and water temperature. And so, yeah, so it's tricky. I mean, we do everything we can um, to save the fish, and you just have to realize that you're going to have a percentage that are not going to be saved. It's just how it goes. You know what I mean? It's just how it goes. It's sad, but it's part of it. You know, I did a show. I have a 6 pound smallmouth mounted. Well, actually, it's 5 pounds 15 ounces mounted. I did a show with Shaw Grigsby, and we plastered them, and everyone needed to be fizzed, and we were only catching them out of like 28 feet of water, and every one of them need to be fizzed, and we were on giants, so that's probably part of it. But anyhow, the long and short of it is, we fizzed them, everything worked out. I had a photo shoot the next day with an outdoor writer, so I tanked 3 4 pounders, and I kept the 6 pounder because it wasn't doing well. And so I put the chemicals in my live well, and had them fizzed, and put ice in the live well, and kept it running all night long. I got up in the morning, and those fish wanted to jump out of the live well, and I was pumped. I was really pumped. And so we went out to do the photo shoot the next day. Shaw and the crew left, and the outdoor writer came in, and we went and did the photo shoot the next day. And he's like, "Let's do the big one." And I go, "No, we're not gonna. I'm not hooking the big one up on a lure and making it jump. We'll do some grin and bear it shots with it, and I'm letting her go." He goes, "No, let's hook it up to jump." I said, "No, we'll jump these 4 pounders." So I hooked a 4 pounder on. I threw him in the water. I pulled it. He's down there with the big lens, and that smallie comes up, whoosh, does a beautiful job, and then I let it go. One jump, let it go.
Mm-hmm.
I did it with the next one. One jump, let it go. One jump, let it go. And I got the big one left. And he goes, let's jump that one." And I go, "We don't need to. We don't need to." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he insisted on it. And I went to jump her one time, and she just flopped over. And I was like, "Oh shit." So I worked her and worked her and worked her and worked her, and she finally swam away. And so he goes, "Well, let's go." And I go, "Nope." He goes, "What do you mean, no?" I go, "I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving until this fish doesn't float up. It's going to float up. I know it is." And I waited like 20 minutes, and sure enough, boop, I saw it. It pops up and it, you know. So I go zoom over in the trolling motor. I get her. I work her. I hold her steady. I get her acclimated, and she swims out of my hand a little less aggressively this time. And I'm waiting. He goes, "Come on, dude, it's gone. Let's go." And I go, "No." And poop, pop back up. So I grabbed it. I put it in the live well. I said, "I'll take you back. I'm going to work on this fish." So I took him back to the ramp, and I was working on her at the boat ramp, and she got kind of active, and I let her go, and she swam away. So the rider didn't leave yet. He was still there. She swam away, and then I said, "Well, I'm going to get the truck." And he goes, I'll get it for you." And I said, "Okay." And he backs my truck in the water, and I hear something underneath the boat dock splashing.
No. It's that fish.
So I look through the slats in the boat dock, and I see her underneath there. She's in between two of those pontoons. She's in between two of them. She's toast. So I said, go get your waders on.
You can go get the damn fish.
Yeah, I go get your waders on. He goes, "I'm not going in there." I go, just get your waders on. We got to get that fish. I'm not going to waste it. And so he got his waders on. I gave him my net, and he put it underneath there, and we got the fish out. And I wound up bringing it home, and I mounted it because I didn't want I didn't want to just throw it away. You know what I mean? So I mounted it, and that's why I have a bass mounted, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
We're going to give away our first gift card. And we're going to give it from the YouTube comments of last week of listeners and viewers who put in their requests to kind of rehear and talk about some of the favorite things. So this one comes from early on in the days. This one comes from May 6th, 2021.
Outstanding.
There's the show right there. And it's interesting. If you look in the background, very similar, but in this one compared to what we're working with today, you do not have the Ohio Bass Fishing Hall of Fame plaque underneath the deer. We do not have the apple, the teacher apple.
Oh yeah, we don't.
One of our listeners that's right there.
And the bottle of bourbon.
Yes, and the bottle of bourbon.
And the Willie Pete's Glide.
And the Willie Pete's Glide. Yep. There it is right there. This episode is from episode number 19.
Oh my gosh. Am I going to even remember that?
Oh yeah, you'll remember it. And it is Dave Tinsman Fishing 130 is the one who said that this was one of his favorites. So Dave Tinsman, shoot me an email, matt@basszone.com. Also send that email also to info@basszone.com within the title prize winner, and then just say you're the YouTube winner from before. I'll get you that $50 LureNet gift card. He wants a recap of the dead cow story.
Oh. A fast recap?
A fast recap, a 5-10 minute, however long. I don't know. We're doing another show. I'm doing another show in 2.5 hours at 11:30 live from the ICAST floor with Dave Rush and Jordan Babcock from Best on Tour. They have literally rounded up all of the new urchins at ICAST.
Outstanding.
And it's live from the ICAST floor, kind of like with the meta glasses where they're walking around and you're going to get to look and see and stretch and they're play with all the new urchins and talk to the guys there. So we have 2.5 hours. So,
oh gosh,
the dead cow story, Frank.
So it was an Ohio River tournament. I believe we were going out of a creek called White Oak Creek. And I'm going to cliff note this a little bit. And so I ran down the river and I went into this pocket because it wasn't like a pocket like an actual bay, but it was like the bank made a hook in the river. The river went straight, bank made a hook, and there was an eddy back there. And so I can see that the current back there against all the flooded bushes was going the opposite way. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's going to be money. That is going to be money. And I had this little spinnerbait that I made a long time ago. I call it the Thumper. It's a little 1/4 ounce spinnerbait. And I go in there and I'm going down a bank and I see these 4 legs sticking straight up in the air and this giant behemoth of a body sitting there, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, holy crap, that is a full-grown cow. And the maggots were on it and they were falling in the water, and the bluegills bluegills and stuff were eating the maggots and everything. And I'm like, let me roll a spinnerbait by that. And I freaking laid that spinnerbait up the side of the cow and rolled that spinnerbait down the side of the cow and caught one. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to look for dead cows so I can get a limit.
Vintage one.
Oh, it was nasty, dude. Like some of it was already turning into leather because of the heat. It was so gross, man.
Yeah, that's why you don't ever drink, regardless of how thirsty you are. Make sure you have water. Don't ever drink from any of that stuff.
Oh, you can't drink from. Oh God, no. Dude,
do you remember when herd of cattle kept Skeet Reese from winning the 2009 or 2010 Angler of the Year from Kevin Van Dam? He was throwing a topwater on a stretch on the Alabama River. I was there. I was watching it, and he was catching good Coosa River spots on this stretch. And it was the way the points had worked. You know, they kind of did a NASCAR deal or a golf deal where they weighted it, and Van Dam was chasing them. He had a good first day. Gets there on the second day. There's only 12 guys fishing, an entire herd of cattle. It was hot. It was like September, and on the Alabama River, were neck deep on the 300-yard stretch that he had caught all his fish on a topwater.
Oh my
and he's
God.
literally like working a Sammy in between cows, and obviously didn't catch any or anything. But the day before, they hadn't been there. It had gotten hot. When he got there the next day, there was like an entire herd of cattle.
Dude, that would have
deep
been
in the water.
That would have been absolutely amazing
If they had still been in there and had been catching them around the cows.
Oh my gosh, dude, that would have been amazing. That would have been an absolutely amazing. The weirdest thing, I was on, I think it might have been Texoma. It might have been Texoma. I was cranking secondary points, and my crankbait bounced around something, and I throw back out there and I snag it. I'm like, what the heck? Snap the crankbait off. It doesn't come off. I pull and it's coming. I'm pulling it and it's coming to me. And it gets really close to the surface. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And I get closer, and I got like a 10-point buck snagged on my crankbait, and it's got a good rack on it. It's a good animal, but of course it had been in the water for a while, probably since hunting season. And I grabbed the antlers and got my crankbait out and trolling motored the thing as close to the bank as I can get it. I tried to get a picture of it. And at the time I had some POS flip phone, black and red. It was supposed to be bulletproof. You could drop it in the water, nothing would happen to it. And dude, the picture was the size of a postage stamp. You couldn't see crap on it. And so it didn't work out. But yeah, that was bizarre, man.
I was trying to find one. My buddy Darren did the exact same thing, where he thought he was casting to something with a trap in shallow water, and it turned out to be a buck. And then you realized, you probably don't, but you don't realize how much weird stuff you send someone to. You're trying to find a picture from like 4 years ago. And then you're like, why am I sending all these weird, I'm trying to find a picture of that, like of the buck, like you have that buddy where you just know that they'll find it funny. And like, this is the stuff that I'm sending. I'm like, what? At what point? Like, I'm scrolling through the pictures.
That's the screaming goat. That's the screaming goat, dude.
Like, at what point did I feel like it was like
that
it was
so funny?
Necessary? Like, just here's a dude with a really bad toupee. Like, I don't know.
What the heck, dude?
I don't know. That's just the guy that I think we all maybe have that guy that we said
the
but yes,
weirdest.
so Dave, if you're listening when you watch this, the dead cow pattern, that was a great show. Brought it all the way back to one of the early days.
Yeah.
There were a number of comments about your first. They want to hear you recount some of your jet ski incidents, and the one that sticks out to me.
I know which one.
Yeah, go with that one. We gotta get one angry jet ski story in with as much of a legend and lore and it has become over the 250 days of day 4.
Yeah, so that I know the lake I was on. I know which one you're talking about already because it was a yeah. So I'm offshore and I'm fishing, and from down the lake here comes a couple of jet skis, and they literally like buzz me. They rip right by me. They're right over what I'm fishing, and I make a gesture. They turn around. They're doing it again, and so in my before I could control it, before I had control over my emotions, I flipped them the bird, and then they disappeared. So I'm like, okay, no problem. Well, like 20 minutes later, here comes like God, I don't even know how many of them. They're all on jet skis, and now they're just parading around me, and I'm yelling at them, and they're flipping me off. I'm flipping them off. It was a bad deal. And then I get to the boat ramp at the end of the day, and I go there, and who do you think's there?
All of them.
All of them. And I'm like, this is not going to end well for me. They were younger than me.
You
clearly,
were out. Yeah, you knew what it's time to pack it up and what it's time to stand your ground.
Right. I just figured I'm gonna, at the best case scenario, I'm gonna take 2 of them down, and then I'm gonna get my brains kicked in. That's what I
think
thought.
you could have gotten 3 or 4.
Maybe. It depends what my adrenaline did. But the reality of it is I just went
That's
up.
how hydrated you were. Sorry.
Yeah, that's how hydrated I was. The reality of it was I just walked up to the biggest group of them, and I said, "Hey, listen here, guys." And I just explained myself to them. You know what I mean? And it went without incident, and hopefully they learned something from it. You know, I told them, when you see a dude fishing, if you want a jet ski the way he's not fishing. You know, go behind him.
Were they doing it once you had expressed your displeasure? Originally, they did not understand, and then they said, "Let's go screw with this guy."
Oh,
so it was
yeah,
kind of a two-part.
It was a 2-part.
Yeah.
The
but
minute
they seemed fairly receptive.
Yeah, the minute it was over for me. They all.
Now, what was the one you told? One, you came on the show, and let me see if I can remember this right. You were fishing riprap really close to the bank, and there might have been some submerged vegetation there, but there was a jet ski that idled, or a boat or something, a pleasure boater that idled between you and the bank you were flipping.
Yes.
Do you remember? They said, I believe there might have been like a small point or something that you were fishing, and they literally went in like the 30-foot gap between you and the little, that one. You were hot. You did a whole show on that story.
Yeah, and here's the thing. So I have to be very honest with you. It has happened so many times to me now that I honestly can't recall that single incident, because it happens a lot, and especially on 2 lakes in particular. And I literally came unglued, man. I literally came unglued. I could cast to the bank, not with a big wild overhand cast. I could literally make a good underhanded pitch to the bank, and they cut between me and the bank, and there is a whole lake behind me, like an entire lake behind me, and they go between me and the bank.
Yeah, you
And
were not happy on that show.
no.
Because you were catching them too, and it
Oh,
messed
yeah.
up. It really, like, it was
Yeah.
stuff just under the surface. I believe that you were flipping
Yes.
with the Texas ring or chatterbait, and you never had a bite on the rest of the stretch, and you hadn't even gotten to the juice, and they were on it.
Oh, they were on it, man. There's two lakes in particular, and I have to be brutally honest with you. It happens so much now that I can't recall the single incident.
Do you think it's new boaters, or do you think it's just complete? You think it's just I have never really, in my opinion, or in my experience, I have never experienced someone intentionally messing with me to upset me.
I don't think it was intentional.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think it was intentional. I think the problem is they're smaller bodies of water with unlimited horsepower, and it's a directional flow of traffic.
Yeah.
Okay. And so they're just used to getting in
and they
there.
don't fish, and they think you're dropping straight down, and that's how fishing
They
is.
don't think,
Yeah.
I don't think they think about it, to be honest with you. They don't think about it. I mean, I was out this year and I was working at God bless it, man. I promised myself I wouldn't get myself aggravated,
Worked up.
But I was out this year. I was fishing a deep coontail edge, and I didn't know if the bass were on the outside of the coontail edge or up shallower where the flat breaks, because a lot of times after the spawn, they work their way out. We've done this a million times. They work their way out, and the first staging spot they're going to stage on is the irregularities on that break. Then as they settle in, as the days start to, go on, they'll go to the deeper stuff. And so I didn't know if they were on the outside edge or on the break itself. And I was working this thing, and it's pretty evident. And it's only 4 feet on top of the flat. And I'm working this thing, and here comes these two pleasure boats at Mach 10. And one's on one side of me, one's on the other side of me. And they literally blow by me right over top, like right there. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And then they turn around and come out to me and drop their anchors and start blaring the music and laying out in the sun. And I'm like,
that is clueless.
Are you kidding me? So I leave it. I'm just like, it's not worth it. Find my happy place. Okay. It's not worth it. So I run down the lake, and I got a high spot that comes up to about 8 feet. It's a high spot. It comes up to about 8 feet, and there ain't a soul in sight. I go on it, and the winds changed a little bit of direction on me. And so I couldn't fish it the way I wanted to fish it. I had to fish it almost backwards. And so I'm fishing it backwards, kind of like, and I hear, whoa, whoa. And I'm like, what? And I turn around, and here comes a pontoon boat pulling a water skier. And it was a young kid on skis, and clearly they couldn't stay on the skis. Yeah. And so every time they would get up, the kid would fall off. Every time they get up, the kid would fall
that's off. The worst.
And so every time it's the big circle to go back around, right? Well, I'm like, well, okay. They see me fishing here. They're surely not coming to where I'm at. The whole entire lake is empty. They're not coming here.
Oh yeah, they're gonna learn right in front of you,
dude. The kid kicks the skis off and just starts swimming, and they're just idling in front of the kid, letting them swim. And they idle right over what I'm fishing, right next to me. And then they put the boat in neutral. And the kids swim into the boat, and they're like, come on, you could do it. And they're like, right, like I could talk to them. And I'm like, what? You know what I mean? I was like, what? And so, yeah, so I mean, so it happens so much, and because our lakes here, Matt, look, they're not like your
You
lakes.
know, I fished a couple of your lakes with you.
Yeah,
I get the vibe. I get the
yeah,
vibe.
they're just not like your lakes, and it's just, and I gotta take a deep breath, man, because you guys, my blood.
We'll take this off. So this is from the only way that I could find it. Someone else reposted it 7 years ago from a different channel. Oh no, this is on Casey Scalish's channel. This is the greatest kayak incident of all time in tournament fishing history. Casey Scanlon is winning the, I believe it was FLW at the time. Might have been ML. Yeah, it was FLW. Pro circuit on Lake Champlain.
Oh my gosh.
And he is dialed.
Because that's a small body of water.
And he's got a lead. And he's spot locked. And he's cracking them, I believe, on a Texas rig. You don't know this incident that I'm talking about, do you?
I have no idea.
You're about to lose your mind.
Oh gosh.
This is this like is in the Hall of Fame of unintentional obstruction. Here it is. You ready?
Yeah.
In the tournament, here we go. A learn to kayak. A group of learn to kayakers were on a direct collision course with them, and they did not alter because they were all new kayakers.
They did not change their direction.
Dude, you know how close, like, we're talking 5 feet. Like, that's from a GoPro camera. Look, he just missed one right there. Look how close the kayakers are to his boat and where he's casting.
Oh my gosh.
And he laughed it off. He ended up winning the tournament.
Oh, good for him. Good.
They never stopped, too. That's the funny thing. There's like 60 of them. Look at the kids.
Oh my gosh.
100K on the line. The greatest.
Oh my gosh.
The greatest incidental.
Dude, I was fishing with Jeff Brazil and my buddy Todd, the prop guy. And we were muskie fishing. And we were having a okay day. And I said, I got one last spot because they had something to do. And so I said, I got one last spot. We got to go. And so I run down the lake. I get there and I get into the idle zone and I'm idling and I get around the corner and I'm like, oh, shit. There's like 4 kayaks and they're like parked on top of this grass flat. And I knew where the muskie was kind of, and at least in a zone. And Todd's like,
what you're fishing for a muskie.
Yeah. Todd's like, let's just go. And I go, no. I go, we're not going. Because we hadn't caught a really big muskie yet. And Jeff Brazil was there. Yeah. And I said, no, we're not going yet. And I said, hey, guys. And they're like, what's up? I go, can you really, really, really quietly and slowly just move the kayaks for me? Just move them real slow and easy. Just move the kayaks. And they're like, sure, buddy. And they're backing their kayaks up, doing their thing. And I am not lying to you, dude. I fire a cast out there and I hook a monster. And it was the last fish of the day and I got it. And it literally chased that crankbait all the way to the side of the boat and blasted it. I had like 5 feet of line out and it literally smoldered it, dude. And I hooked that thing up and those kayakers were losing their ever loving mind. They're like, oh my God, that fish was right here. And I go, yeah, I know.
That is actually awesome. Before we move on, in honor of the Frank Kayaker, and at risk of getting canceled on the 250th show, I'm showing the damn shirt, Frank.
What shirt?
I'm showing the shirt.
The shirt.
I don't care. We might get canceled for it. There is a middle finger involved in it, but I'm showing the shirt. Do I have permission to show the shirt?
Yeah, go ahead. You worked. Oh my gosh. And that is
There's
not
Frank and
available.
his legend.
That's not available. It's not going to be available.
Like I said, we may not make it to 251, and that's the reason why. And it will, if we do get canceled, this shirt will be available.
It will have to be.
out of necessity.
Out of necessity.
Let's go over to Learn It. iCast is going on. It's a sports show where they do all of the new releases. We did it. Who designed that? I did it with the help of AI. That's about 15 different renderings to get it and all that stuff. I mean, it's
so funny.
Yeah, it would be good. But some new stuff coming out. I don't know whether you fish with it, whether you've not. We went over the Bandit series that came out, the 50 finesse and that, the War Eagle spoon, the gadget worm, some of those other things, but there are some new releases, so we'll get on that. First one would be that Speed Walker, which is like a do you know anything about these, Frank?
Very little. The Speed Walker is a bait that you could really work super fast on the surface. It has merit. I don't have any yet, but it has merit. Clearly I don't have them yet because it's an iCast bait. And they just put them on the website today. But I will have them by the end of today. I'm going to order them.
Spit and Image.
Yeah, I have
Spin and Image Junior, so that's just a smaller version of the Spin and Image.
Dude, yeah, I have the Spin and Image. It's money. The Rebel Flex tadpole.
Okay, this is interesting. This one I thought was very interesting, paired with a GLF Ned.
Absolutely, dude.
Did that come to mind for you?
Yes.
Because it's 2.5 inches, flexible, lifelike, but it's floating live flex material, and that drifted in current or drug across the bottom or hopped or anything. This, I think,
dude, I have
could
to be
really sneaky.
I have to be honest with you. I used to do a lot of wade fishing in smaller smallmouth rivers, and that on a Ned head would have been destructive.
Or drop shot even.
Yeah, that would have been destructive. Like, no kidding.
That's how they have it rigged there. This is an interesting bait to me because if this had come out in the GLF lineup, it would be looked at completely different than like the Rebel, because Rebel, you know, you've got like the craw and the frogs and the birds and the crickets and the grasshoppers and the wasps and the bumblebees. That one might be sneaky, under the radar, good tournament scenario, hardcore bass fishing stuff.
Yeah.
And then also just pond drifting.
That's a good body shape. It's very recognizable to bass. That's a really good one. Okay, so this bait here, like, it's you could cast it a mile and you reel it in real fast and it on the surface of the water, right?
Yeah.
That's basically how it does. It's kind of like an old, I'm trying to think of the name of the bait.
Yeah, there's a category of Japanese baits. Jackal has one out that has kind of made it, but they're really big for bluebacks, for sport, when you've got a lot of fast moving bait fish that the fish need, because it's got the flash, it's got the dive, it's got the walk, it's got everything.
And you have to be able to cast them a mile, especially.
Yeah, there used to be an old school bait that had a bill like that attached to it, and I cannot remember. I feel like it was a head.
I don't know what it was, but it was real similar to that. But you know, the
a Hellraiser?
Okay. Maybe. See, well, you'll be able to find it. But there was a bait that a local guy designed to be fished just like that, but in grass situations. It was called a Barney spoon. And you think if you threw this thing in the grass, it was going to snag on everything, but it didn't. And you just reeled it in and go across the top of the water. And it was amazing. I mean, it was an amazing little bait. But this thing here for schoolers, because you know how, Matt, you can never get close enough to the school. This thing has weight to it, man. Like, you can hurl it. So yeah, that intrigues me a lot.
Similar one there, Spook Stick, which it's interesting that they gave it that name. I mean, that's like a new take on an old lure, getting a little bit of that splash on the front and and the 90-degree. The bigger baits with the narrower fronts, Frank, does that mean you can slash it 90 degrees and keep it in one spot more than you can like a standard Zara spook or a saltwater spook?
Yeah, it's easier to do with that. It's like the cotton cordell oh my God. I'm like losing it today.
That's fine. You got all fired up, and now we're having to try to bring you back down.
Yeah, now you're trying to reel me back into
again.
actual facts.
Okay.
The pencil popper, it's almost
Gotcha.
the pencil popper is a huge version, but that's really thin and small, and so you could really work it when they're keying in on the smaller bait fish without making that pencil popper commotion that goes. You know what I mean? So it's
that
more,
on
more subtle.
That for the GLF. I mean, this is the biggest thing that's going right now. The skirted.
Oh yeah.
Skirted Ned. That Ned head is legitimately unbeatable.
Agreed.
Like there's not a better Ned on the market.
I 100%.
I just don't use them when I know I'm going to be losing a lot of Neds because you pay for what you get on those Neds.
Yeah. There is no question about it. The skirted Ned is a necessity. It gives you ultra finesse with the advantage of a jig skirt. You know,
that in a, like, I understand like Ned, you want light, but it comes in 8 3/16 and a quarter ounce with a, like if you have spots or smallmouth or even largemouth, the quarter ounce, fish it on 14-pound test, 12 or 14-pound test. If you're in a rocky lake to where you can get it and pop it and put the, I'm going to say it, the Berkeley Max Scent Lil General as a trailer on that. And it's phenomenal. Like that exact setup. That's what a lot of top guys are fishing right now. It's this very similar style. You can also just put the back half of a dinger or something on it as well.
Yeah, I
actually GLF craw.
Right. I actually like cutting the spine craw. I cut the spine craw down, take a couple segments out of it and put it on because I want movement. I like movement on mine.
Yeah. Or the little craw, that little craw, the little snack craw that they make.
That.
Yeah. Let's see what else. What else? I know that we talked to some people who've been fishing the gadget worm.
Yeah, so dude, I'm getting my gadget worms and I'm getting my flash spoons tomorrow.
Nice.
I can't freaking wait. I'm like losing it. I cannot wait. And oh, Matt, I did take your advice. I went out and bought those 5mm bands.
They stay on a lot better.
I see why. When I look at them,
keeps the hook pinned up against that bigger plastic instead of letting that hook roll.
Mm-hmm. I see why. I did do my due diligence before I made the purchase of those bands. Go ahead.
Well, we need to give away. We're 58 minutes in. We need to give away another Lure Net gift code. Let's do it to someone who is in the comments. We'll give guys a little bit of a chance, but if you want to hear Frank recount another one of his infamous stories, I can't remember who it was. There was someone that was on here. What I would like to see is the color number 7, which has become infamous with day 4 over the 250 episodes that we've given away at the Bassmaster Classic, that there's limited runs of that have been signed and given away. Just a quick recap of that. You really hadn't painted any individual colors for BTL yet. You didn't have a signature, monthly line that was coming out with Frank Scalish signature colors yet. That whole thing, the way I describe it, is kind of the reaction to that bait is kind of what spawned LureNet to do the Frank Scalish signature series stuff.
I think what wound up happening was I was doing, if I'm not mistaken, I was doing some catalog colors and a couple limited runs. Basically what happened was I kind of took over the paint shop.
Yep. That was right. You were doing the paint shop stuff.
Right. And so what we did, and I'm not 100% sure of the exact order, but I kind of took over the paint shop, and we were throwing some stuff in the paint shop. And then the color number 7 came about because of well, a lot of things, really. Obviously, Mark's accident in the locker room. And of course,
slipped
Matt,
after they won the championship because his dumbass kids gave him a Gatorade bath on a hardwood floor.
Yeah. And so, right.
Slipped, head, he came back, and I said, oh my God.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to come back and say my favorite color is 7.
Right. And nothing like letting a little bit of time go by before the joke, Matt. That was like the first day back.
It was the first day back.
It was. So then, one thing led to another. And actually, the color number 7 had a lot of past Bass Talk Live history behind it. Okay. The number of orange bars was how many years you guys have been doing it?
17 at the time.
Yeah. The colors were Mark's favorite colors.
Orange and purple, which here, I'll show you this.
And so the reality of it is that I tried to incorporate everything into that bait for Bass Talk Live. Yes, exactly.
That's the OG, one of the OG Bass Zone hats, which turned into Bass Talk Live, so you can see the colors. And then the original logo had some orange in it too.
And so, yeah. And so that's how that bait had a lot of history painted into it. But I also wanted to make a bait that could be fished, that's fishable. And so that's kind of where we came into that bait. And it was a huge success, mostly because of the fans of the show. Because you guys had been watching Bass Talk Live before day 4 started, and so you had a lot of the history behind all of this, and so that's really how that bait was developed and why it was developed. Actually,
I think the best part is when we crashed that's not what your bosses would think, but I think the best part is when we crashed the LureNet website.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was funny because I told them in the beginning a number quantity to make. And they did not believe me. They're like, there ain't no way we're making that many. I go, oh, no, you need to make that many. And they didn't. And that's why they had to rerun it, because they had to fill the orders that the machine kept taking even after the thing was sold out in 4.5 minutes. And so it was a great story. The whole thing behind that is, it's like I don't want to say a once in a lifetime, but there's just so much behind that bait. I would actually like to see it in the regular lineup, but probably never will.
Okay. We'll just give away to one. There's been a lot of good comments lately. I'm going to just scroll back and forth.
And I say stop.
Yeah. Oh, no joke. Oh, what a great comment. Clay wins it. Long-time listener. Long-time viewer. Clay, shoot me an email, matt@basso.com and info@basso.com as well. $50. So we got Dave, Tidsman, and Clay.
All right. We're giving them away.
$50 on LureNet. And then if you don't win one, you can still use capital BTL25 to get 15% off all of your regularly priced items. Do you remember we didn't really talk about this on show number 200. Do you remember when Mark was like, hey, I want you to come on every single week? Like, do you remember the conversation that where all of a sudden, because I believe if I'm not correct, so you were on for a number of shows because I think I was fishing or something, and you co-hosted, and you and Mark went way back to when you were on the Elite Series.
Yes, what kicked it off was the smallmouth episode when they were coming up to Lake Erie smallmouth.
That was the glacial deposit show that blew everyone's mind.
That was the glacier deposit. Yes, that's exactly right. And then Mark called me like 3 days later, and he said, "Holy crap! You should see the traction that show's getting. You got to come on again." And I said, okay. It was fun to me. Like, it was a blast. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll do it again. And so I did it again. And then Matt, you were gone. You had to go. You went on a tournament stint, didn't
I
you?
was on like a bender at the time because I was fishing all 9 of the Bassmaster
Yes,
Opens.
yes. And so then Mark's like, hey, come on and you know, fill in for Matt. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. And so and that's band, Mark's band.
Top of the river at Gunnersville.
Yeah, and so so
His most
that's
recent
how it
band.
happened. And then one day Mark goes like this. He goes, I'm thinking day 4 with Frank Scalish. You could have your own show. And I'm like, at the time I was like, yeah, all right, that'd be fun. You know what I mean? What did I know, Matt? I didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not I'm not a computer guy. So I'm like, yeah, that'll be fun. So I did it in the beginning for fun, never understanding where it was going to develop and where we were going to take it. You know what I mean, Matt?
Mhm.
And so that's how it happened, and it's been great. It's a lot of fun. I look forward to the shows every time. Um, it's just been really good. But
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
going back through all the episodes. I need to go back because the other ones are on there, but they're not in the day 4 vault yet. The day 4 vault kind of starts at
which
20.
one are you looking for?
Just any of those older ones.
Yeah,
Do
crap.
you have a favorite show, Frank, out of the 250?
I like so many of them. I like my deep dives.
I love your series.
Yeah,
We
I
need
do
to get
too.
back to that. I think it's time for another 3 or 4, like a month of deep dive. What was the one that you did? You
Okay,
did it 2-3 years ago, but it has stood the test of time.
so I did show number 55, show number 68, and show number 70. It was blueback herring, gizzard shad, and threadfin shad. I like those shows because I did a lot of work to get the biological details from
Mm-hmm.
that. Those shows were really good. I like some of our deep crankbait shows. We did a grass show on identifying grass.
I liked that one.
Yeah, that was a good show too. I think I think what we're gonna have to do is, yeah. Well, we keep bringing that up, boys. We keep bringing that up. I'm waiting for a knock on the door any day now. That was the rare Australian pine tree that we brought in for.
Key phrase, statute of limitations.
Yeah, key phrase. So
Anyway, yeah, the bait fish and the vegetation series to me are kind of 2 of the gold standards.
And so what I think I want to do now is I think I might work on a series on fishing different types of grass. All grass isn't created equal. We all know that. Bass will have a preference between one species of grass versus another. And it could be randomly, or it could just be at the depths the grass grows, or what the bottom substance is
Mm-hmm.
that the grass is growing in. I know, not to where we won't get in detail, but I know in Florida, arrowheads, the mother-in-law tongues or arrowheads, whatever you want to call
I've
them.
got a mother-in-law now, so we can't refer to it as that. I was totally fine for the first 5 years of the dog.
Right, so we got to call them arrowheads
I
now.
love my mother-in-law. She's awesome.
And yeah, and I could vouch for that because I met her. But yeah, and I understand. I didn't know. I learned during a tournament when I figured it out that the bass were spawning in the base of them things. And so there's I think we have a lot of substance in that area. So we'll do some deep dives on that. And I got some requests for how to fish coontail, how to fish hydrilla, milfoil, blah blah blah. So we could get into that.
Yeah, the crayfish shows. Couple things that I started. One, the recurring guests, and there's been a number of listeners on here who have brought up how much they really enjoyed and appreciated when Todd was a regular on. Rest in peace.
I miss my buddy, man.
But man, he was a genuinely awesome dude, and you could just tell based on the shows when Todd was on that you guys did some dumbass stuff at high speeds.
No, we did some bad things, man. We did some bad things, dude. I will say this beyond a shadow of a doubt. When it came to speed, he was one of the best boat handlers I have ever been in a boat with, bar none. And I'm talking speeds over 90 miles an hour.
You could say it now. Like I said, Todd has passed, great legacy. We had his dad on hydromotive engineering. We talk about what is the fastest that you ever went in a boat with Todd. It's the 250th show, Frank. You could let the cat out of the bag.
We did 119. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. In his Allison. And I'm gonna tell you something straight up. Okay. I knew it was time to pucker up when he turns around and he goes, "We're gonna run it. Don't wiggle around back there. Get comfortable and just stay put."
Not like this. It's like this.
We were, the seats are back to back, not side to side.
You have never told us the actual number, and Todd would never say the actual number.
He would not say it. He would not say it.
Was everything flexing?
No, dude. That thing was, it was like an aircraft.
Really?
I mean, it was so fast. Like his boat, his son Matthew's got his boat now. That boat, you could not step on the throttle. You had to ease it into it, because if you stepped on the throttle, that thing would be cracking 9,000 RPMs that fast.
9,000?
Yeah, he's running it at like 9,800 RPMs.
How long did you maintain the tops? Like, what were the conditions? Was it glass calm? Was there a little bit of chop? I mean, obviously, you're not going to do it around other boats.
No. So here's what happened. So when we went out there, it was super slick. It was too slick. And so we needed a ripple on the water. So Todd said we need a ripple.
Is that to break the surface tension to get maximum speed?
Yeah. So the ripple on the water puts more air underneath the hull. It's easier to lift the hull. And so you could go faster. It's like bubbles underneath the boat. You could go faster. So he said, we just need a little ripple. So we were messing around for a little while. And, he would bump it up 98, 99. Then he let me drive it, and I wanted to hit 100, and I didn't. I think I did 90. I did 90 some miles an hour, but I didn't break 100. And then we got the ripple, and he's like, "Okay, now we're gonna go do this." And I said, "Okay." And that's when he turns around to me. He's idling out. It's up, and he turns around. He goes, "Hey, dude, get real comfortable back there, and don't wiggle around. Just sit there." And I'm like, "Okay, I can do that." And he let her eat, dude. And you can't believe when you're a foot above the water how fast that feels. It is the most amazing.
Did it suck you back into your...
Oh yeah, dude. His G-forces on that boat are psycho.
And is there any? Is he driving it?
Oh, he's driving it. Yeah, he's driving it, and it's as straight as an arrow, just as fast as you can imagine. And your peripheral vision, the faster you go, the more it closes in on you. So, like when I drove it in the front seat, I had a diamond about that big in front of me that was clear that I could see. I saw nothing on the sides, just a diamond in front of me. And so the part of the problem with that kind of speed is if you don't see a wave, a roller or a boat wave coming, if you don't see it, you have bad things happen. And it's like Todd used to always say, he goes, "You do nothing fast. You do nothing fast. You don't take your foot off the throttle fast. You don't trim it fast. You make love to the machine. Everything has to be slow and easy, because at that speed, if you were to take your foot off the throttle, like if you got scared and you took your foot off the throttle, you're over.
Yeah.
You can't control the boat anymore. You are absolutely over. And
Yeah.
so it was there, it was really wild.
But in all fairness, legitimately, you're a professional bass angler who drives a boat, and he is one of the best in the prop games and a racer. So it wasn't just two guys randomly saying how fast can we go. It was two professionals testing the limits of equipment.
So here's the funny thing. Okay. So I love Todd more than anything you could ever imagine. And it's very difficult for me even to this day to talk about him. But I will tell you this. I was so comfortable and so safe in the boat with him at high speeds that the only thing that I felt was the exhilarance of adrenaline when we were ripping. Okay. It was exciting and it was fascinating. So let's fast forward after the big speed episodes. We developed the 5-blade prop for rough water. I wanted a prop for rough water purposes, specifically, not for speed, specifically for rough water. So the fun part about this for me was Todd was a go fast race driver. Todd doesn't experience giant water. And so I had my opportunity to put him in the passenger seat and watch him pucker up. You follow me? So I remember the day we went to test some of these props. Holy shit, dude. I'm like, we can't go. And he's like, why not? I go, it's only going to be 3 to 4 footers. We can't go. I said, we got to get like 4 to 5 foot range at least.
So we're talking Erie out of
downtown Cleveland. We went.
Yeah, get a little sporty.
Yeah. So I said, we got to get some big waves where I could test the prop's maneuverability. How's it going to climb the water? How's it going to go tail waves? How's it going to go head into the waves? I gotta see, and I can't do it in 3 footers because my boat will run over 3 footers. So I call him up. I go, dude, today is the day, but we can't go late because it's going to build to 7 to 10 footers later in the day. But we're going to have 4 to 6 footers in the afternoon. So we got to go. And he's like, okay, I'm coming over. And so he comes over. Of course, he comes over. He's like 2 hours late. And I am like, I go, Todd, we could not be doing this today. I'm just telling you, because I'm not going out testing new props in 10 footers. You know what I mean? I got to make sure. So we go out there and it has built. Let's just say the lake has built. And we go out there. And I said, how you feeling? He goes, I'm okay. I'm good. And I said, all right. I said, okay. Because when we come around the wall over here, I said, it's going to be a whole different program. And so I go running around the wall, and we have just to put it in perspective for anyone that knows Lake Erie, we have an east wind. It is.
I felt that feeling a couple times before on Erie, like where we didn't know what we were doing, and you come out and literally you're like, there's no. That's the only thing that your body says is no. That's the only word that comes to mind. No.
Yeah. So I look at him and I go, hey, bud, we're going to be okay. And I freaking lit it up, dude. We had an east wind, so I could trough. And so I lit it up and I went blowing out there. And I'd never seen him in my life do this. He grabs the oh shit handles and he's just like this. Look at this.
Well, yeah, I guess if you're speed and performance, you just go, well, not today, and wait for it to calm down. And if you're not a hardcore fisherman, you're never going to be caught out of that stuff.
Yeah. And so we tested him out that day, and the air temperature had dropped. We both showed up in shorts and t-shirts, and the air temperature literally dipped to like in the 40s, and we were freezing our asses off. And it was getting dark because he was late. So he came late and it was already getting dark out. And we're running these blades, man. And it was It was spectacular. It was absolutely spectacular. And then we get back to the ramp, and we pull the boat out, and he goes, "What do you think?" I said, the prop's working. I said, "What do you think?" And he looks at me and he goes, "Respect."
Love it.
Yeah, man, he's such a good.
I said, Todd, obviously, a bunch of some regulars on the show over the 250 shows. Trailer Rick's on here. I know he had shoulder surgery, arm surgery.
Yeah, dude, Trailer Rick, man.
Rick, love the episodes that we have Trailer Rick on. Frankie's been on to Dan from Great Lakes Finesse, and
Joey
then
Mac and Cheese.
Joey Mac and Cheese, your buddy from Lake Norman, Troy. Little wink there for Troy. Provides me with some material sometimes.
I know what he provides you with. I freaking called him out the other day, and he played dumb. He played so dumb, dude.
Well, it's not just Troy. I mean, there's a number of people here who, I may be 2 or 3 levels deep. Troy and Frankie may be the gateway.
They're the gateway.
They're not the
only way.
Picture dealers, so to speak. Maybe that they have.
So I literally look at the pictures and I almost know who they come from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a big shout out to those. It's time to give away another one. Someone else might have said it, but I'm giving it to Dennis Miller 6584.
Good comedian.
Yeah, he has brought back the Loaded to the Cork show. Do you remember how the phrase, and I've got the Loaded to the Cork hoodie that we had on, the one limited with the steel head with that. Do you remember how that saying came about in the show on that?
I think I was talking about punching grass, and I said, and then I was loaded to the cork, and I went, like that. And I'm not 100% sure. I used the phrase multiple times. That's kind of why it stuck out.
But that would definitely. So, like, the thing about this shirt when we did it, though, is that is a steelhead that you're fighting in that picture, though, right? That's why the rod is so long and positioned like that?
It was not. It's actually not a flipping stick.
Yeah.
I just turned it into kind of one.
Yeah.
But it had a good bend in it, and the silhouette I like better.
Yeah, they're saying we need to bring that shirt back. But Dennis Miller, shoot me an email, matt@bassone.com, and also CC it to info@bassone.com. $50 LureNet gift cards. We've given one to Dave. We've given one to Clay. We've given one to Dennis. We have one more to give away. We'll do that. At the end of the show. Frankie also pointed out, he said, yeah, your buddy with the prop show. That's kind of what reminded me of Todd. Here's an interesting one. I know you've done a lot of shows, and it seems like Excalibur, out of production Excalibur, sneaks back into the conversation on a regular basis.
It does.
James is curious. What were your favorite old school Excalibur lures?
Easy. Suspending fat-free shad 7s and 6s, and the TX3 jerkbait.
Okay.
Easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
I knew it'd be that, and that's a little jerkbait.
Yeah, the 3 and 1/8. 3 and 1/8 jerkbait.
Davis, I vaguely remember this. His favorite story was the co-angler from hell who just kept coming back. I don't remember this one.
Oh boy, there was.
Do you remember that one?
There was two. And so I'm not sure which one it was.
David, if you remember, give us some more details on that. We're talking 5 years of shows here.
Yeah, there was two. One in particular screwed me out of a elite win, and then screwed me out of $10,000. We're not going there.
The XR50 and XR75 are identical in the Booyah lineup, just repackaged. Is that true?
I think there's a 1/16 ounce weight difference. The Booyah is a true half ouncer, and the XR50 had just a smidge more weight to it. Not much.
Why do you know why they got rid of the rotating treble hooks? Those used to be like when I was younger, I would tie on an Excalibur, and they had those like kind of twisted trebles, and I'd be like, "Ha ha, we're gonna catch them now."
Well, you know what? The funny thing about that hook is the hook itself, the hook design itself had a lot of merit to it. And when you sharpened them up properly, they held the fish. Like it was stupid how they held the fish. The problem was they didn't do a conical hook point on them. It was a chiseled hook point. And so it didn't get the love and attention that because the other hook brands came out with those round needle type hooks. And so it didn't get the love and attention it had. If they would have put those in a, conical rounded hook point, I think they would still be being made today, to be honest with you.
Here's just a nice comment by Crankbait918. Said it used to be in a bowling league with some people who worked at OSI, and they had nothing but nice things to say about Uncle Frank.
Outstanding. OSI was a blast, dude. One of the best sponsors that I ever had on tour. I got to know those guys so well because they were literally 30 minutes down the street from me. And I'll tell you guys the funniest story. It's very important as a professional angler. Relationships are everything. They can't be forced relationships. They have to be natural. OSI had contacted me. Well, they didn't contact me. Their advertising agency contacted me. And then I worked with the ad agency to cut the deal, but I didn't know the guys at OSI yet. I only had worked with the ad agency. So when I got the deal, then I met everybody at OSI, and they were all unbelievable, down to earth. You would never know it in a million years that they had any kind of money. They were absolute dudes. Like they loved sports. They were just dudes. Okay. And we hit it off really well. And so I'll never forget one of the first things they said, "Hey, come to the office." And I said, "Okay." So I drive down there and I go to the office, and we're just sitting around, in a typical, big table in a room, and we're just BSing. And they said, "We're doing a promotion. We're doing a promotion. We're trying to think of, something to do, blah, 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 blah." Right. So they go, "Can we give a boat away, a bass boat?" And I said, I'm not sure I can get a bass boat. And they go, "Wait, what's that?" Because I can't.
Oh, that's just said his favorite episode was when you subtly dropped the F-bomb and just continued on like nothing was finished. Incredibly well worked into the show, but continue back to the bass boat because I haven't heard this one.
Yeah, so we're sitting around a table, and they said, "We're gonna, we're gonna put the logos on 1 million cases of product, and we're gonna have 70 million units are gonna go out across the country, and we want to do a giveaway." And I said, "Hold on a minute." And so I was sponsored by Triton Boats at the time. So I called Neil at Triton, and I'm like, "Hey, Neil, it's Frank." And he's like, "What's up, man?" And I told him what we were doing. I said, "Is there any possibility for a boat and a trailer?" And he just goes, "Yeah," just like that. "Yeah." And I'm like, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "But you got to work out a motor deal." And I'm like, "All right, so here, this is how it goes down. We have adjourned to a restaurant."
And you're with them, and you made one call, so you look like a G because you're like, "Well, we got the boat. Now we just got to get the motor."
Yeah. So here's
like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah. So here's exactly. Swear to God, this is exactly how it went down. So we had adjourned from the office to a restaurant,
a lounge,
to a lounge, and so we're
a speakeasy. Just never let the truth get in the way of the good story. You're tired. Do a speakeasy.
Would you let me finish this? So we're sitting there, and we're having a few beverages, and we ordered some food, and I'm on the phone with Triton, and Neil just goes, "Yeah, you got it. 19.5 footer." I go, "Yeah, that's perfect, dude." Just like that. And so I go like this. I go, "Hold on a second." And I go put the phone here, and I go, "We got a boat." And they're all like this. You know what I mean? So I go, thanks, Neil. I'll call you with the details. And Neil was a great dude to work with. And so anyhow, so I was sponsored at the time by Yamaha. And so I called my guy at Yamaha, and I'm like, hey, Dave, any chance I can get a 200? And he's like, you mean for free? And I said, well, kind of, it's not really kind of free. I said, you're going to be on 70 million cases of product, yada, 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 across the world. And OSI goes, we're not buying a motor. Just like that. We're not buying a motor. So I said, okay. So so then Dave comes back and he goes, I can't give you a free motor. And I'm like, what?
Dave Ittner, long time Yamaha.
Yeah. So I go, what? And he goes, I can't give you a free motor. I go, what can you do for us? And he gives me a number, and I go like this, and I'll just tell you. He gives me the number. I go, $3,000. They go, done. Just like just like that. So in the matter of 3 beers and appetizers, we put a promotion together for a free bass boat, motor, and trailer and electronics.
I love it.
And that's how it worked out. And it was the greatest. It was one of the greatest promotions ever. And my silhouette and all the logos of my sponsors were on every single product and case of product, 70 million units across the United States.
Is that where the photo shoot came out of with the so we were talking the one the listener was talking about with the icebergs in the hotel room
Yes.
where was the sit that's what then that led to was that photo shoot where it was like they just picked water at a pretty background.
Yeah, and when they were surprising me, they didn't tell me it was going to be a life-size wall. They were surprising me, and when I walked into the dealer's show, there's icebergs floating around the size of my boat. I'm in short sleeves, and it was the greatest thing ever.
That's what David said. He said his dad had stores that sold OSI products, and he remembers seeing that packaging.
Yeah, dude, straight up. I did photo shoots where Mark Hicks was doing the pictures for me. Great, one of the great outdoor writers in our industry. Phenomenal photographer, best work ethic ever. And we were doing. We did a photo shoot on Lake Norman, and I was literally hooking a crankbait into tubes of caulking and grabbing them out of the water and, holding the tube of caulking up with the water dripping off of it and the lure on it. We did so much fun stuff. Those guys it was the best. That was the best time in my fishing career, to be honest with you, aside from making the classics and winning Angler of the Year. Those were the best times ever. I never knew what to expect with those guys, and they were smart, but they were fun. I mean, they were really smart businessmen. Mm-hmm. And to this day, one of the owners, his son's named Mitch. Mitch and I communicate constantly. He was a little tyke when we did the Mexico trip giveaway. And I went to Mexico with my buddy Bruce and the guys from OSI and some winners of the contest. And Mitch was a little kid, and I took him out fishing one day, and we cracked him. I mean, we cracked him. Well, it's hard not to in Mexico, but at any rate, the reality of it is that kid was in contact with me from that day to this very current day, and he was a phenomenal baseball player, got drafted into the Indians organization, transferred to another team, and now he's not playing baseball anymore, but great guy, fly fishes all over the place, and is in communication with me to this very day.
It's a good story.
Oh, it's great, man. It's great.
Joe brings up a good point. He goes, if you're going to do series, he said you did bait fish. He goes, what about a series of bluegill imitators in different parts of the country, since you have a wide variety of, is there enough there for the sunfish, whether you're talking like long ears in Florida, hybrid warmouths in the Midwest, red ears in the West, true bluegills up north.
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
they all pretty much act the same. It's just, hey, it's a different color.
well, I mean, our bluegills here will go deep, like real deep. Like we catch them in 18, 19 feet of water.
I remember you talking about that. You found schools, and I have never in my life, outside of when you're trolling around a dock in the post spawn and you see them up underneath the float, never in Oklahoma have I seen live scoped a school of actual bluegill. Yeah, I don't think they do it in Oklahoma. I mean, I could be totally wrong on that. I would love to, because it's a species I would love to target. But
you scope enough that if they were schooling out there, you would have found them. Or you're thinking they're shad, big gizzards or big threads.
But you would think they would follow it. A bluegill would follow if you're putting a little 3.5-inch minnow on them.
They peck at it.
I think they would peck at it.
They do peck at it.
Not here.
Dude, our gizzard shad in some of our lakes are so big that they peck at your minnows too.
Have you ever tried to eat a gizzard shad? Serious question.
Hell no. No, that's an oil bucket, man.
Yeah, but
I've eaten.
So's like a mackerel.
Yeah, I know. I don't like mackerel either. Too oily. They're too oily.
Sheep's head, as in drum, freshwater drum, not saltwater sheep's head.
Yeah, those are good too. Saltwater sheephead are phenomenal.
Wait, two, as in you didn't mind the freshwater drum? Really?
Yeah. No, dude. No.
Do they have a weird bone structure to where it's like a northern pike, or?
No, dude. You cut the back straps out of them. It's.
Get out of here! You're talking about a drum.
We did a whole
drum,
dude. We did a whole show on eating them things.
We did?
Yes.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
I would have remembered that, Frank.
No, you wouldn't, because you would remove that from your mind because you're not eating a drum. Yeah, we did. Someone look it up. Before this.
You did it. Poor man's lobster.
Yeah, poor man's lobster. Good job out of you, Kevin.
Let's give Kevin the last gift card for that.
Give it to him.
Kevin C. Oh, Kevin Cahill. $79.36 email matt@basso.com, info@basso.com. You're the final $50 lure net. Dave, Clay, Dennis, and Kevin.
Okay, so
I wrote down $50 lure net instead of his name.
Okay, so that's 4. So the other one goes to iTunes.
Yeah, the other one goes from this show. I'll pick a winner and we'll do it next week. So if you're listening to this show on iTunes and you've not left a review, leave a review on the 250th show on iTunes, Podomatic, wherever you listen to it on your MP3. And then next Thursday, we will give our final $50 gift card away to someone who listened to this show but is only able to do. We got UPS drivers, truck drivers, delivery people who just who listen on iTunes.
So so we're going to talk about something else real quick, because we do have another giveaway. Trailer Watchdog for our 250th has decided to give away a trailer system.
Trailer monitoring system.
A trailer monitoring system. So Matt and I want to create a different kind of contest to win this. And so we'll probably will we announce it at the next show?
Yeah, here's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I think we run this through August, Frank.
Okay.
And now that we have some giveaways, and we'll talk about it on the show, we want to hear your biggest nightmare trailering story.
Yes, that's money, dude.
Email matt@basszone.com, info@basszone.com. In the title, Trailer Watchdog. That's just the title, Trailer Watchdog story. And this is going to run starting today, July 16th, through the August 13th. We will announce it on the August 13th show.
Perfect.
And we'll talk about this for the next weeks. It can be 100 words, 200 words, 1,000 words, 2,000 words, however long you think it is. But if you have a nightmare trailering story with your boat, with your whatever it is, and Frank and I will pick the winner, we will then allow you to come on BTL and share that story on day 4 as a guest on day 4 with Frank Scalish. And then as a result of winning that, it is the $350. It's basically $400 prize.
Oh yeah.
The trailer watchdog system. You will turn your current boat trailer into a smart trailer with that. So big shout out to Trailer Watchdog for
yes, very big. Man, I'll tell you right now, guys, this thing is for real. I love it. I think I'm gonna get his monitor though. So I don't have to keep putting it on my phone all the time. I'm gonna get the monitor.
And as soon as I get the new Bass Cat, I'm having it fully installed by Scott at the Bass Tank. I'll probably just keep, I have a little thing like on my phone that I keep in my truck anyway. So I'll probably just have it Bluetoothed into the phone, but I'm going to have it integrated into the next Bass Cat trailer that I'll have in a couple of weeks as well. So
yeah, it's perfect, dude. This is something else. This system, I'm fascinated by it. I forget who the heck I was talking to the other day. God almighty, my brain is scattered. But he had trailer tire issues, and he had to go out and get all brand new trailer tires, all the belts. My buddy Gary, all the belts in his trailer, and I'm not going to mention the brand, but all the belts in his trailer tires had slipped, and he felt something really weird. Didn't pay much attention to it, and when he got home the next morning, he decided he would pull a tire and check it. And he pulled the tire, and all the tread pattern was all cattywampus on it because the belts cut loose from it, and the belts were actually free flowing in there. And if he didn't have the wherewithal to pull the tire off to check the tires, his next road trip would have been a catastrophe.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
here it is. Here, if you have and then also let us know in your story, your written story, whether you have a single or a double axle. It's gotta be a fishing boat. Gotta be a fishing story. It can't be like, hey, I was out harassing Frank in my ski boat.
Yeah, exactly. That can't happen. That is not allowed to happen.
Single axle's $395. The dual axle's $495. So $500 value. Big shout out to the folks over at Trailer Watchdog for getting involved with that, getting involved with day 4. And
so I'm wondering if we don't pull Alex on that show.
Oh yeah. We'll 100% have Alex on that show. Like I said, it runs July 16th through August 13th.
Okay, perfect. That's perfect. And
we can talk about it the next couple weeks, but that's a free one for the best story.
Yeah, and
it could be short and to the point. There could be ample bloviation. It's kind of up to you.
Yeah. It's a cool thing because there's guys out there, and I know guys personally that have never had an issue with the trailer, and they don't understand because they've never had an issue with the trailer. And the reality of it is that that's the most overlooked piece of equipment as a bass fisherman that we have is the trailer. You're plopping down a $98,000 machine on top of a trailer, and you barely look at your trailer.
Dude, I thought, like, you see a picture like that, like, I thought that was like, oh, there's no way it could, like, literally in college, we were on the side of the road with a tire on fire.
Oh,
we had to pull the fire extinguisher out of the boat to put the whatever the hell was on, but it was on fire. Yeah. And then we ended up having to wait for the tow truck flatbed to come, which then had to drag the boat up. It was a nightmare to get it. It wasn't my boat. It was my buddy's boat. But it was a 4-hour process just to get to the point where we could go home. And then he had to drive 5 hours the next week to pick it back up. But it was legitimately on fire on the side of the road. We were my God, it's on fire.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, that was the time era where you thought duct tape was a good way to hold your bunks on.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, that would have, yes. I did have a Skeeter ZX190 with duct tape holding the bunks on, and not very much duct tape either.
No, duct tape holds your bunks on and gets you back from space, apparently.
Yeah, and if you don't have a good story, you could also write in with why you feel like you're deserving of one of these two, and if perhaps there's something that moves us dramatically like that. You know, like, hey, I live in Chicago and I'm in 7 lanes of blah, blah, blah. And the only time I can go fishing is at 4 p.m. on a Monday afternoon. You know what I'm saying? Like, like you need like, hey, yeah, no, this guy needs that. So you don't necessarily have to have a death and destruction story that accompanies it.
Right. Just something unique and interesting.
Persuade Frank. Because what I'm going to do when we do this for the winner is I'm just gonna give them to Frank.
He's throwing the onus all on me, guys.
Frank is gonna say that's the one, but he's not gonna know who it's from.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. And then the other thing is, I might give Matt 3 and tell him to pick one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know, it's funny you mentioned Chicago. So I was on my way to Lake Minnetonka one time, and I completely,
as the folks call it up in,
what do they call it?
Tonka.
Yeah. So I was on my way to Tonka, and I was with my wife and our very newborn Noah child. And I made a wrong turn and wound up going through Chicago proper during rush hour.
Not designed for a boat.
And I will tell you one thing. It's a traffic congestion at 75, 80 miles an hour. And there ain't nobody letting you get over. And you are, whatever lane you are in, you are stuck in it. And it was high anxiety for sure going through Chicago, man. I was like, what? I said, I will never come this way ever again. And I have avoided it ever since. Because I can't deal with that, man.
So that's $750 in 2 shows and products.
That's not bad.
We've announced that we're giving out. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah. We'll chat to you about Trailer Watchdog and about the new products on LureNet.
Yeah.
That's our deal with you guys. And then we'll return the favor with free stuff.
Yeah. I'm wondering if we shouldn't. Now my wheels are turning. I'm wondering if we shouldn't have Alex and Trailer Rick on. And because Trailer Rick will have some trailer stories, man.
Well, hasn't Trailer Rick dealt with legitimately millions of trailers over the course of his life? He's probably heard the worst of the worst.
Oh, he's probably heard the worst of the worst.
Like they did what?
Yes. Yes. Let's think about it.
Too late. Hey, I have a soft spot for Trailer Rick. I got an engraved bottle of whiskey from Trailer Rick for the wedding. It's sitting in the kitchen. So if Trailer Rick wants to come on the show, Trailer Rick can come on the show.
Amen, brother.
Trailer Rick, big catfish guy. I don't think many people realize that from the time we've had him on. He will send us pictures of 100-pound flatheads and blue cats.
Yeah, they almost
look going out of style.
Giants, dude, giants.
I would say, okay, Chicago consistently for me is the worst.
Atlanta.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. Atlanta at the wrong time is, I mean, they literally have machines in Atlanta that when there is a traffic accident, they just come, pick it up, move it to the side of the road, and everybody keeps going.
Yeah, Atlanta's the worst. I'm agreeing with you, Matt. I'm agreeing with you. Now, we're saying that because we've never trailered a boat through LA, but
Atlanta is similar to, I've been back and forth from LA to Orange County to San Diego. I've been on, I think it's the 5.
Well, I don't know what it is.
It is, because I think it's the 5 out there. I've done that trip a lot, and you're just like, boom, Scientology headquarters, boom, all sorts of stuff down there. But it's a lot. It's a lot of lanes.
It's a lot
going
of
a lot of speed. Memphis, like when you have to go through the Memphis, like where it goes somewhat down there by Elvis's house. So like late at night, like I've never had any issues in Memphis or anything, but there's like a 7-mile stretch where the manhole covers, where you slow down. It's like 45 miles an hour. It's like in between the highways, but the manhole covers are in the middle of the lane. And like every half mile, there is just a earth-shattering do-doom, where you feel like your boat is going to break in half in the back. And it's like 4 miles. I don't know if anybody's ever taken that road through Memphis. And it's, just one where you go, ooh, I hope everything's okay. I hope everything's... Now imagine that 75 times in a 3-mile stretch.
No.
Dallas at the wrong time can be an absolute nightmare, and it's like 30 miles of it. It's not like, hey, we're in and we're out. Like Memphis, you're kind of in, you're out, you go over the bridge, you get it, you get through your 5-10 miles and you're past it. Dallas is like never-ending trailering hell.
Yeah. I'll agree with that too. But I'm gonna stand on Atlanta. I'm saying Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta's I have trailered through Toronto. Now I did it in the middle of the night. What I noticed in Toronto was there weren't any other like bigger trucks like in Toronto when I was decidedly like the big, like I thought it would be more like a lot of walleye boats and all that. No, it was very similar. It was the Atlanta of Canada. Like I wouldn't want to go through Toronto again towing.
Like I've been to Toronto a bunch, mostly just partying, but so I never really towed a boat through there.
You've probably never done Dallas, have you, Frank?
Yeah.
You did? Have you done it recently? Like since the urban sprawl in Dallas really exploded over the last 20 years.
So when I towed a boat through Dallas, you know how you got a lot of the freeway bridges now that go around? They were building those when I went through.
So they built those, but they didn't build any on or off ramps now. So they'll just spit you out, and then your thing will be like in 0.3 miles, take the exit to the right, and you're 8 lanes over from your exit 0.3. But then there'll be another one of those big curly Qs that spits out. So you've got 4 lanes trying to go 70 straight, 2 lanes trying to get over 6 lanes over in 0.3 miles, and 2 lanes trying to get 6 lanes over the opposite way in 2 miles.
Yeah, it was a great design. It was a fabulous design.
I-40 through Arkansas is that's just the bread and butter of the truck route. You hit Eufaula, and then you get into like that Russellville area. Through that Russellville to Memphis, to me, is like that's like the bass boat. That's where you earn your medal. That drive right there, Russellville to Memphis with the bass boat, especially when the trucks are on the road.
Yeah,
you'll learn a lot about yourself as a human being on that stretch of road.
Yeah, it's wild though. Like Cleveland is a piece of cake.
I've never had any issues there.
You go through Cleveland, dude. The funny story is I used to have an advertising agency when I was younger, and I had a loft in the flats in downtown Cleveland, and I used to bring my bass boat downtown all the time with me and park it out in front of my office, and then cut out half a day and go fishing. And it was like never an issue. The roads are wide. You got room to go. You know what I mean? Some of these other cities, you can have them, man.
Bending Light Studio. I think that was the parking for the state fair. He gave us some. So I had a prize pack put together for you for like a year and a half. And now that I'm married and we send stuff out, send me another email. I literally, like, just as a thank you, because Court was like, "Hey, that saved us so much time." And I have like a bunch of Sunline and stuff wanting to send you, and I never sent it. It sat in the studio for over a year. Like I said,
Way to be on
new
top
me.
of it, Matt. Way to
New
be
me.
on top of it.
We've got an info at basszone.com, Matt at basszone.com. Like, if you notice, like, we have control of the Instagram account now. We're working on a bunch of different stuff, but send it. Like, I literally, like, have stuff for you.
Perfect.
Yeah, I was parking right across the street. Otherwise, you have to walk like
2
I'm
miles.
the guy who will go to like a state fair, drive around, not see parking, and then drive an hour home and be like, there wasn't parking.
Yeah, dude, I would do this. I would do the same thing. I'm like, nope, too complicated.
Yeah, email me, Matt at basszone.com with your mailing address again. That'll make Court very happy because I got chewed out, not in a bad way, just in a, hey,
you got to
make
be
sure we
this.
take care of him. Yeah, we got to take care because he went above and beyond. He had parking passes for us.
That's
really
sweet,
cool,
dude.
like kind of urban setup right downtown there by the state fair.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, Jeff, email me too with what you won.
Matt, did you forget a lot of things?
I probably have 5 or 6 outstanding things that I've given away that have never gotten actually given.
See, you guys, that's why the gift card thing is so good, because it's an email. He has no excuse.
And here's the thing, though. I also remember, like, it still bugs me. So I remember it. So I'll know if you're trying to sneak one in. I'll be like, yeah, no, I don't remember that.
Oh my god!
I feel like you're judging me.
Not out loud. 100%. Oh, that's priceless.
Anything else? Did I talk about last Thursday how I was seeing a sports psychologist? Did I mention that at all?
No.
Have I mentioned that at all?
No.
I did. I had a session with Dr. Nate Zinzer.
Nice.
Author of The Confident Mind.
Perfect.
It went really well.
It should go well, man.
Yeah.
I did that. I did a sports psychologist my third year in, when I couldn't clear my head enough to fish my way out of a bag. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And
did it help you, do you feel like?
Yeah, because it got me back to the grassroots of the thought process. I got too amped up over things, and I wasn't making clear. I wasn't clear. I wasn't making good decisions on the water. And so what it does is, it can't give you talent. Okay. But what it does is it gives you the ability to siphon your talent and to use your talent when you're supposed to use it. And understand that at the end of the day, if you're clear-minded, you're making decisions predicated on experience, and they're coming naturally. You're not forcing it.
Yep. No, I had a really good episode. Really good. I made the EQ, so I'm like, if I'm going to do it, I might as well do it. You don't know how many more opportunities you're going to get. I knew it was a part of my game that I've worked on, that I need to work on more. But I got about a third of the way through the book, The Confident Mind, and then worked on some stuff with him. And there are some things that he said that I was like, oh, I've never thought about X, Y, Z in that way. Right. Like, I mean, I don't think you talk to a guy for an hour and 10 minutes and read 6 chapters of the book, and now all of a sudden you've got the mental fortitude of Kevin Van Dam in 2010. But
nobody does. Nobody. It's a process, and it's a continuing process. It never stops. And but it's valid. It's all valid. It really is.
I mentioned this before. I mentioned this on the last show. What are your thoughts on a smallie stash? Do you feel like you catch smallmouth better with just a dirty mustache up north than clean shaven? You're a clean shaven guy. I'm headed to Lake Champlain next week. I'm a month in on this. I'm working on it, but I feel confident this will be shaved, but I'm going to keep this in it. As hideous, as patchy, it is unkempt. But I feel like over the last 3 years, every time I've had a really poor choice in facial hair, the smallmouth jump in the boat.
I'm a clean shaver. I did the beard one for a while, the goatee for a while. I don't like facial hair on me. Not
I
the
don't
not
like it on me either, but I
not
feel like
it's not the way it looks. It's not the way it looks. It's the way it feels.
I hate it.
Yeah, I don't like all that. So I shave. I'm a clean shaver.
But I'm saying, what are your beliefs? Do you think you catch more fish if you feel confident? Like if I truly believe that this horrible mustache is going to help me catch more smallmouth on Lake Champlain in the Bass National Regional in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Do you think it really?
Yes. Here, because that's your mindset. You're making yourself believe it, so you believe it. It's just a mindset. Here, if that didn't work, why do you think every major baseball player that gets up to the plate is doing his gloves, doing his bat?
Nomar Garcia Parra is what you just did, Boston.
I mean, they all do it. Tommy would point at the.
Oh yeah, I remember he would go like this. He would squat, then he would.
Yep. Exactly.
What did Albert Bell did something weird too for the Indians back in the day?
Yeah, hit the shit out of the ball.
Yeah. Didn't think we'd have an Albert Bell reference on the
No, I didn't either. I'm like beside.
How about an Oral Hirschbeck?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Hirschhauser.
Or Hirschhauser, that's right.
Yeah, dude.
Oral Hirsch. He
pitched.
Was it Hirschhauser? Hirschhauser. That was it.
Dude, he pitched, man.
What about a Kenny Lofton?
Lofton was phenomenal.
Who was the Central American?
The guy who did not
wore his hat really high.
I'm not sure, but the guy who never got his due on the Cleveland Indians was Omar Vizquel.
That's who I was talking about. He always wore his hat.
Yeah.
And isn't he from Central America somewhere?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Omar Vizquel.
Omar was probably the best shortstop defensively to play the game. And Jeter beat him out because Jeter had a better bat. But I would say I'm not taking nothing away from Derek Jeter, people. But I'm just going to tell you that Omar Vizquel was 10 times the defensive shortstop.
That late 90s, you had a closer who came on and was lights out for like 2 or 3 years.
And yeah, it was
big dude. Like he would come on and it was one of those it was Mariano Rivera type stuff when the Indians made their runs.
Yeah, he
big dude, like intimidating as hell.
Yeah, I know.
You also had a starting pitcher. He wore his hat a little bit sideways, kind of flat. He was unhittable as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
I haven't Googled any of this.
Gosh darn it. The name is on the tip of my tongue.
Jose Mesa.
Yeah, Mesa. Yeah. I think he gave up.
Jose Mesa.
I think he gave up a home run and we lost.
Who was your third baseman during that time? Because was Tommy first base?
Or Tommy was first base. We had a guy named, I think, David Fry.
Okay.
And then we had another guy that came from, I forget where he came from. He had the softest glove I've ever seen on the infield, but he wanted to go back home, so he bailed. But yeah, I
went to Jacobs Field back in that where they had the drum. They get the drum going.
Yeah, the drum
and it was
guy.
Like really nice outside. Like that's because I had family there, so I was a big Indians fan.
Yeah, so they had in that 90s era where we were just dominating, our entire infield was Gold Glovers. The entire infield was all Gold Glovers, and 2 guys in the outfield were Gold Glovers. The whole entire team was like a Gold Glover. It was exciting baseball to watch for sure. I mean, for sure, it was exciting to watch.
And got real close, but never won one.
Yeah, I know. And now, I mean, like I got favorites on our team now that I just think are phenomenal athletes. Was
that Matt Williams?
Yes. Who said that? Yes, Matt
Williams.
Bait. Good job out of you, bro. It was Matt Williams. He had the softest mitt in the world. And I guess he was missing family and stuff. And he just decided that he had to go.
There was one pitcher that I just remember during those runs for a couple of years. Everyone would be like, "Oh, not him." He was a relief pitcher and he would always make they'd bring him in when there was like guys on second and third, and you'd be like, well, they're scoring. I cannot remember who it was.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, CC Sabathia.
Yeah, Sabathia was nuts.
That was the hat.
Yeah.
Early CC Sabathia, pre-Yankees days.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, CC, man. If you saw him today, you wouldn't recognize him. He's thin.
What years was he?
Why are we doing baseball, man?
I don't know. I just decided to.
Are you guys, how many people tuned out?
I don't care.
How many people bailed? Oh, they're talking baseball. We're out.
When was he on the Indians?
Was
he on the Indians?
CC?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Just type in CC. When did CC play for the Indians? It'll be there.
2001. Yeah, so late 90s. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
All right, anything else? Congratulations, Frank.
Thank you. Congratulations to you, man. You helped all this. You made all this possible, man.
It's been fun. We'll do another merch drop at some point this year. We'll probably do it in like September, October, in time for the holiday season. We'll come up with some new designs, maybe bring back a couple of the classics.
Yeah, we got to. We have to. That's the baseball.
Yeah, 250. So can't thank you guys enough too.
It's fascinating
for all the laughs. We always have a good time.
It's
always
great.
have a good time on day 4. What?
I just never know what to expect from you sometimes.
Well, I gotta keep you on your toes. If we did the pre-show stuff where you knew exactly what was coming down the pipeline, like we put together an entire essay trailer watchdog competition, and they think that we had that set up before the show. No. Little do they know that happened live on air, and you had absolutely no idea.
Nope.
What I was gonna say.
Nope.
And I was just going based on the feedback that I'm seeing on the screen as to whether I needed to pivot away from it or whether I needed to go all in on it. And now we're giving it away, and we have a 3-week essay contest with 3 guests on in the middle of August. That's how it works on day 4.
That's how it works, man. We're free flowing.
All right. This has been another edition of day 4 with the man Frank Scalish. Same time, same place next week. We're going to shut things down. Then we're going to rev it back up 11:30 a.m. Central Time, live from the ICAST floor. We're searching for urchins.
Nice. Searching for the urchin.
All the new stuff on ICAST. Dave Rush, Jordan Babcock will be there. And then if you are over the urchin craze, the next show is titled Everything But Urchins at ICAST. And that'll be, I'm not kidding. That's at 1:00. So we're going to do 2 shows. One's just urchins. One, not an urchin in sight.
I love it. Everything but urchins.
It's true. Just watch and see. I've already got the Searching for Urchins up, and then Everything But Urchins will be up in like half an hour. We'll talk to everyone later. See ya.
Adios.